people are even top of the leaderboard, 3-0. They've got 3 games to play. It's going to be, it could change and it could be near the bottom. So they have to have a couple of good games today.
Thank you for bearing with us, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally underway here in the Esports World Cup for EA FC 24. And we are underway with the first game of the day, which will be Emre versus Mark11. Both these players need to have a good day too if they want to get through to the playoff stages. Obviously, trying to avoid that resurrection bracket if they can.
Good start from both of these, obviously just trying to see how each other plays. That was actually someone that we forgot to mention earlier, Hosselu. He was quite common that we didn't actually expect. I know he's tall, but there's some other tall players that's come out recently, but he seems to work. Potential chance.
Might have been a foul, but Ronaldo does get feeded the ball through. Looks for the pass across to Haaland, couldn't quite find him. Well defended, ball whipped in early. Ronaldo nods it away. Bullet back down to De Bruyne. Canate now trying to get back to his defensive duties. As we see Mark just moving the ball around, taking his time with it. Mark is in the black foot whiz kit, Emre in the white for this one. Cruz with an interception. Interceptor Playstyle Plus comes out as John Stones switches the play out wide to Kai Havertz, who is being pressed. Emre not taking too much time and gets settled in with his high press football. Has maybe caught him out a little bit there though, as eventually he does recover and finds his way out.
Defensively, Yilmaz at the moment looks very, very solid. You know, Mark's having to do 4, 5, 6 passes in and around the box just to try and make some space.
Decent ball over the top, and Mbappe unable to receive it though. Could be a potential chance here. Patelas with the finesse shot, looking for that top corner, but blocked away, and now back in possession for Mark. We talked a lot yesterday about players taking more shots outside the box to try and win corners, and we also saw many a goal from corners yesterday. Havertz running down the wing. Good pass to Mbappe, who's looking for some assistance. Unable to find anybody. Hosselu doesn't have the highest of defensive stats, but did well there.
Yeah, we saw him being used either left back or right back yesterday just to try and stop the Haaland sort of cross, and he's doing a good job. Obviously doesn't do much defensively. Potential chance here, a block from distance.
Yeah, once again looking for those long range shots to potentially find a corner for himself, Emre, but unable to again find a route through to goal to trouble the keeper. A tentative start to this game. Both players obviously can see themselves in, but there has been a goal in the Levy versus Gifonzo game, and it looks like it will have gone the way of Levy, smashing it into the back of the net for the 1-0 lead for the Dutchman. Gifonzo obviously had such a good day yesterday, such a good start. Did unfortunately lose to Young in the final game of the evening for Group A, but he'll be hoping for a better day today. Not the start he would have wanted though. Havertz taking the shot on, wins himself a corner. Good save from Courtois. Fast corner comes out. Courtois claims it.
Yeah, that would be a big win for Levy de Weerd if he can win it. Obviously 1-2 at the moment would bring him 2-2 in the table, and that means his teammate, the person that he's playing against, and Gifonzo would also be 2-2. So it would be a big change in the group standings if he could go on and win that game, Levy de Weerd.
And there has been another goal in that game, this time going the opposite way. Gifonzo finding his way through with Ronaldo, and when you get that man in that position, you're always going to struggle to miss, but he scores nice and easy. He made it look easy. Canate down to Hosselu on this right-hand side. Just, again, plenty of time in these games. 19-minute halves, 19-minute halves, could you imagine? 9-minute halves, that would be very long. 9-minute halves, so plenty of time for these two players to find themselves into the flow of action. Good interception by Haaland. Can he get on the end of it? No, but Ronaldo does make the challenge. Nice double step over. Speed boost from Mbappe. He doesn't quite come off, but finds himself a bit of space.
Commentator curse there.
Stones. Sorry.
Commentator curse there. I mentioned that if he can get the win in that last game against Jafonzo, it'll be close, and then 2 minutes later he goes and scores Jafonzo. I mean...
What are you going to do? He'll always get one of us. Good pass to Ronaldo from Haaland. Big chance, green time. A big hand from Petr Cech to put it behind for a corner. Will be taken early and fast. Kanate wins the header, and Kai Havertz will take it away. Playing out from the back. Very, you know, I would be a little bit spooked by passing it out from the back when there's so many players in my box, especially playing against such a talented player in Emre, but Mark having absolutely no fear of doing that, sticking to his guns and his game plan. Havertz, there'd be a chance to go for that green time finesse, but a little bit of goalkeeper movement from Yilmaz.
Yeah, a bit of goalkeeper movement there, but I feel like it just wasn't a good shot neither. Didn't seem to get enough power on that, but I mean, good chance. Potentially could have got a corner from it, but defended really well.
Yeah, we can see they are looking for the corners more and more as the tournament goes on. Saka, though, with a good pass into the feet of Mbappe, does have to go back. Nice whipped cross into the box for Haaland. Looks to head it down to Ronaldo, but dealt with it well. Does Petr Cech once more.
I'm not sure if that was a shot, to be honest. It looked like it was, but it didn't go towards the goal. Obviously, ended up making a save. However, I feel like that was such a good chance, but it didn't seem to go the way of the far corner there. But
we do see it a lot more in pro clubs. We don't see it as often in Ultimate Team. The little header down to the second striker. You know, Haaland coming in, wins the header, nods it down for Ronaldo. You see it a lot more in pro clubs. That is something I would like to see, but obviously when you're not controlling the defenders, they tend to stick to the other striker and makes that a lot harder. But that will be an offside call.
yeah, that's what I thought he was potentially going for there, the sort of knockdown. But I didn't really see a player that could win that more than what he would if he just shot that. But another goal has gone in, this time for Jafonzo, it looks like. He's turned this game around, and I'm sure he's going to be pleased with that. We know he could score loads of goals yesterday, and he's showing it yet again today.
And Ronaldo, once again, getting the goal, takes a sip of water. Make sure to stay hydrated, chat. It is hot at the moment. Not too hot in the UK, but if you're in Riyadh, very warm. Very warm. Salute into the feet of Ronaldo. Big chance. Does the La Croqueta towards the goalkeeper. Doesn't quite make it work, but the corner comes in. Balls to Mbappe. And Cech will manage to get in there just about.
Yeah, what a chance that was there for EmreYilmaz. He's had a few chances now this game where you think he could potentially beat maybe 2-3-0 up, but very good goalkeeper movement, I'd say, there from Mark. Being able to stop that from sort of closing the angle down quickly, and it was a great chance. I mean, I feel like he's going to be a bit annoyed about that not going in, but he's still had plenty of chances in the rest of this game.
Chance Havertz with a green time shot. Keeper stays strong, goes behind for a corner kick. Now, what potential tactics are we looking at here? What is Mark thinking? Ball played in. Oh, it's a bicycle kick coming out. Courtois stands strong. Cruz manages to keep it in from going out for another corner. But well defended once again by Emre.
Yeah, we saw a few corner routines yesterday. You know, we saw Web Nasri sort of bringing Haaland into the goal, and then obviously coming out, we've seen, you know, depending on where they move the keeper, back stick crosses and also front post ones. It's sometimes hard when you can see the corner just to know what to do. Do you bring him out? Do you keep it in goal? I think the best thing to do personally is bring him out, but obviously don't drag him out too far, because otherwise they could go back stick and then it'll be an open goal. So it's just very hard. You know, I'm sure you guys in the chat have played Foot Champs and you've conceded countless corners every single game. It's just very hard to stop it.
Yeah, very hard indeed. Corners very strong in this iteration of EA FC. Havertz on the ball down on this left-hand side, feeds it through to Mbappe. Looking like a good attack. Ronaldo is there, finds a beautiful pass through to Saka, threading the eye of the needle, but no bueno. Half-time whistle blows, and this has been a very close game. hopefully more of the same in the second half, Lisa.
Yeah, exactly. They've both had chances. I think this game could be 2-1, 2-2. There could be at least 4 goals in this game. I just feel like they're both. I don't know. They're just both playing really, really well to a point where they just can't stop each other. They're stopping each other too well. And I think for me, it's just whoever gets that first goal, breaks the deadlock, will be able to see this game getting more and more goals.
Yeah, absolutely. The first goal, and I feel like the floodgates will open. Both players maybe a little bit hesitant to make the first move. We do have a replay here. Webb Nasri versus Young. Ball played in by Webb Nasri, and Haaland's there. He is a man that loves his corners as the Japanese player goes 1 goal up against the favourite in the group, currently 3-0, I might add.
Yeah, crazy. I feel like no one expected that. Obviously, we know Webb Nasri obviously beating EmreYilmaz earlier yesterday, but now being 1-0 up against someone that went 3-0 yesterday, it's just, if he can somehow win that game, it'll be 2-2 in the groups. And we talked about earlier about maybe getting into the resurrection stage. He could potentially go to the top, in the top 3.
He could. If he has a good day, picks up a couple of wins back to back, I should think that will seal the deal for the resurrection stage. If he goes 3-3, I think that would probably seal the deal for him. But obviously very close. Who knows what we might see? We might see Young potentially go 6-0. We could see Jafonzo go 5-1. There could be some really positive scorelines. We'll have to wait and see. But Young isn't undefeatable. His goal difference is only +4, not the highest in the group. That goes the way of Jafonzo. So we'll have to see as that game plays out and as the replays come in. But here we go. We're back underway with this match. Our featured match for the first game of the day. EmreYilmaz versus Mark11. Still goalless. We need to see a goal in this second half. There's been a goal in the other game, Jafonzo versus Levy, and it has gone the way of Levy David. As Jafonzo disappointed with that one, maybe just a little bit of a defensive error.
Yeah, he seems pretty frustrated there to concede that goal, but it's still 2-2. Anything can happen, and on the flip side in this game, hopefully we can see a goal. I think, once, like I mentioned earlier, once we see a goal, I think the floodlights will open and we'll have plenty of goals. But just to see who can get that first goal. Prediction still stands as it is. We don't know who's going to win.
Yep, the prediction does still stand. Who knows which way this one will go. But Emre is on the front foot. Looks for that finesse at the back post. Doesn't quite come off. Looking for the corner maybe. But Mark does well. Gets out from the back, even though there was a couple of players applying pressure. Ibrahim Kanate plays it out wide to that John Stones that we've spoken so much about. We haven't seen as many icons as I thought we would. Not as many icons at all. We've obviously seen the usual, the Hullet, the Ronaldo. There's been another goal, and this one has gone the way of Jafonzo. 3-2. These games are not disappointing in day 2. Jafonzo regains his lead by a goal. Could be a chance here for Mark11. As Havertz moves the ball around nicely. Ronaldo now finds the opening, but Courtois with a magnificent save. A corner will come out. Big chance. Whipped in. Haaland's there. Green time header, but saved once again. Giving it away. Dangerous area. But Courtois does manage to come out on top.
Wow, that was crazy, obviously. A little mistake there, obviously, from Yilmaz. And another goal has gone in the Young and Webb Nasri game, and it's now 1-1 in that game, so we can see what it means to him there. But moving on from that chance we had, Yilmaz made a little bit of a mistake, but prior to that I feel like Mark could have scored with a finesse shot with Arno, maybe could have gone a little bit closer, but great keeper movement. And from the corner, I thought it was going in. There was a little mistake and good chances there for Mark. Probably the most he's done all game so far in terms of clear chances, but I'm sure, like I mentioned earlier, I feel there's a goal coming.
There's got to be one coming soon, Lisa. If not, we'll have to go all the way to penalties. And I don't think either of these two players want that to be the way to settle it. But De Bruyne, big chance. Bukayo Saka turns inside, but the chance eluded him ever so slightly. Haaland wasn't in the greatest of positions. Well defended from Emre once again. And just keeps going back to that statement that we said. Emre is just very solid when it comes to defending. Other than that one mistake he made just off the back of that last corner, he has been top quality. Patelas to Ronaldo. Ronaldo going for a long shot, very deep. Don't know if he saw the goalkeeper off the line. Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to shoot from there. I think he was getting pressed, so he sort of just went for the shot, hoping potentially to get a corner. You know, we've seen loads of corner goals this competition today and also yesterday. So I think, you know, the players do seem to go for that, just if they're getting pressed too much, just to try and get a corner to, you know, get Haaland, the big man, on it, or obviously back by course, depending on who they have. But every single player so far we've commentated on has had Haaland.
I mean, it's got to be done. What a ball that is from Toni Kroos to Mbappe, but well defended from Mark11 to get back and make that tackle with Konate. Being heavily pressed once again, though, but has beaten it and goes through. Hosselu with the tackle. Would have been a really nice overlap there. Patelas, really good turn. Ronaldo. And there's been another goal in the Fonzo game. That is an absolute corker from Bukayo Saka. What a goal from about 30 yards. That's exactly the way that you want to open the scoring from Mark11.
Yeah, I mean, what a finish that was. This is why you have Bukayo Saka in your team. He can do them long shots distance, and he did that there. I mean, like you mentioned, 30, 35 yards. We mentioned earlier, why did he shoot from such a long distance? And that is why, because it can fly in the back of the net, and 1-0 there. We did say there was a goal coming, didn't we? This is the replay coming up, obviously. Patelas into R9, and then Saka with a finesse green time finish for EmreYilmaz. I mean, he started bright in this game. Can he end like he meant to start?
Yeah, Emre with a glorious goal to kick things off. And we were talking about, why is he shooting from such long distances? Well, that's why, because he knows that he can score them. And that is a lovely way to open the scoring. And regardless of who scored the goal, I think both players just got to look at that one and say, well, that was a really good goal. Hold your hands up, and not a lot you can do about that one, Mark. Mbappe, though, Patelas pings it out once again to Hosselu. Might just be looking for Saka once again. There has been another goal in the Web Nasri Young game. Mbappe, though, coming into the box. That's a green time finish, hits the post, and it's Haaland for Web Nasri that puts him 2-1 up as he regains his lead against the unbeaten player in Group A.
Yeah, we told you yesterday was a great day, but there are going to be some upsets today. And so far, that game is an upset, obviously. 3-0 Young, potentially losing out on going 4-0 against Web Nasri, which would bring him 2-2 in the group standings. And then in this game, of course, if Yilmaz does carry on winning this game, he will be 2-2, which, yet again, a start that he would have wanted.
Absolutely, the start that he would have wanted, and going forward, he's going to want to continue on more of the same. He needs to hold on to his 2-1 lead, though, or his 1-goal lead, should I say. That would take him to 2-2 in the standings. Will bring him up to anywhere between 2nd and 4th, depend on where everybody else finishes. Obviously, Emre currently winning. That'll take him up to 2-2. Jafonzo currently winning. That'll take him up to 3-1. So, as it stands, it will be Young and Jafonzo at the top of the table, joint with EmreYilmaz. Joined by no one. It will just be those two at the top of the table. So it will be very interesting to see now going forward, as this Group A is getting very, very tight.
Yeah, it will definitely go down to the wire. I feel the last game is the most important in this group. Of course, you know, a win in that last game could see you go into the resurrection stage, or it could see you going out. And on the flip side, a win, if you're in that, you know, 4th spot, could see you go into the playoffs, which means you don't have to go through that stressful time of the resurrection stage. So I'm looking forward to see who can get to the top. Obviously, can Young keep being up there, or will someone else take that spot in the first spot and potentially go on to win this competition?
Well, that is the question. You want to get that first seed, and that is very important. You want to get that first seed because that gives you, theoretically, the best chance of moving on through the group. The resurrection bracket, the lowest seeded players that don't get eliminated for the tournament go through that. So that is the way that you will want to go. First seed Haaland, though, gives it back to John Stones as Emre is under a lot of pressure. I'm sure the words between Mark and Deadman where you've got to step on the gas now, you've got to start pushing him. Question is, does Mark have the tools available in his arsenal? The answer, I'm pretty sure he does.
He does indeed. We see Davies on, and we also see Neymar. Didn't see him much yesterday, and Wout Weghorst for the aerial plus that he has. Can he go on and score here?
Davies twisting and turning down the wing. That's a great pass to Neymar Jr. Can't find the follow-up, but he's won himself a corner, which, as we know, can be very, very dangerous. Wout Weghorst sitting in the box. You know that is who the target will be. He switches the player on, might look at a run at the front post, runs out, comes back in, and Canate will win that header, but Bellingham wins the follow-up. Still the ball with Mark11 as the pressure continues to mount. Forced back though, still pressing very heavily. Emre not willing to sit on the 1-goal lead as the foul comes out from Davies. Tony Kroos, deep over the top ball, looking for Hullet, but goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a little mistake, obviously, earlier from Mark with the player lock. Just the pass didn't go where he wanted and gave Yilmaz a chance, but overall defended really well. Poor pass from Yilmaz to Hullet, but still 9-10 minutes, you'd say, in this game with added time. There's still a chance for Mark to get a goal back, or Yilmaz, obviously, with the pressure that Mark's going to be pulling. I think it's going to potentially mean that he's got some gaps in the back. Can he carry on in this game and try and get this goal that he needs?
I see that when Emre gets the ball, he's still looking to apply the pressure. He's still looking to force the ball forward, you know, faster. Does he feel like he's in a position where he can smell the blood in the water? I'm not too sure. Bellingham, though, big chance. Wout Weghorst wins it down to Kylian Mbappe as Mark11 pulls it back to 1 goal apiece, and that is what the FootWiz faithful would have wanted to see, as we are all square now. Yeah, Yilmaz, you know, we could ask the question, couldn't we? Should he have just played a little bit of game management, slowed the game down, instead of looking to play the passes forward? He obviously was playing them quite quick, but here's that goal once again.
Yeah, we saw Bellingham obviously doing a step over speed boost there, chips it up to Wout Weghorst, and it fell kindly to Mbappe. And that's the reason why he obviously brought on Wout Weghorst. He's aerial plus, he's very good in the air, and you're able to do the knock-ons that you mentioned that you saw in pro clubs earlier. I mean, I think that's been deserved. I think Mark's had a few opportunities, especially earlier in the game. Obviously, we saw the reaction there from Yilmaz. Wasn't too happy about it, but it's very late in the game. You mentioned, obviously, management. Could he have kept the ball? Personally, I don't like to keep the ball unless I keep it in their half, because, you know, we saw it yesterday. I think it was Nicholas. He didn't end up conceding, but he was very close to conceding, just trying to keep the ball in his half. So it's just risky keeping the ball. Whereas if he can get a goal and obviously get an extra goal in this game to go 2-0 up instead, then, you know, the goal difference would be in the plus and not the minus. So I see why he was going for it, but it was a bit risky.
Very risky, and now it's brought it back to a place where we are at 1 goal apiece, and this game is thrown up into the air, as we're not too sure which way this one's going to go. Will it go to extra time? Will it potentially go to penalties? We'll have to wait and see as we continue forward in the first game of the day. Welcome back if you are joining us here in day 1 of the Esports World Cup, or sorry, day 2 for the Esports World Cup for EA FC 24. It's been a very good day from day 1, and day 2 has an excellent start with many players, many goals. We'll have to see if we can get more of the same going forward here.
Yeah, this will be the first time we've actually gone to extra time. If it does go to extra time, of course, we haven't seen penalties or extra time, but a potential chance wasn't meant to be. But it'll be interesting. The first time, like I said, George, go into extra time if we do. Every game is sort of, yesterday been 7-4, like 6-2. There's been so many goals, but this one, probably the lowest scoring game we've probably seen across this competition, or definitely what we've commentated on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There was a couple of 2-1s yesterday, but other than that, there was nothing lower than 3 goals in a game. So this definitely has been the lowest scoring one so far, but something's got to budge. And I think we might get a chance, I would assume, before the full-time whistle. There has been a goal in the Webb Nasri versus Young game in the 80th minute. Young equalised it to bring it 2-2. Can Webb Nasri hang on? Can he get back in the game? Young, obviously, as you can imagine, very animated with that goal, bringing himself back into the game to keep his unbeaten streak alive. But Emre has the ball as the last chance will go the way of the Dutch player. Not long left at all. Needs to get the ball forward. Ball played over the top, gone long. Stones wins the header, and that will go to extra time. 1 goal apiece, and for the first time on this stream, we will be seeing an extra time game. Surely we've got to see a goal in extra time to sort this out, because if not, it will go down to penalties. And as we know, penalties in FC 24, not the most forgiving.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like they just cancel out each other at the moment. You know, they're both so good and defensively and going forward that's why there's not been too many goals. Like you mentioned, obviously, I'm sure there will be a goal in extra time, but if there isn't, the dreaded penalties is what I call it, because I feel like anyone can win on penalties. It's just see if you can get your opponent's head. Do you go middle? Do you go left? Do you go right? Of course, but do you stick with the same place 3-4 times to make your opponents think that you don't? It's so hard to win a penalty shootout, especially when there's a lot of money at stake and obviously points at stake in the group stages. So it'd be interesting to see if we do. But you can see Denman, of course, speaking to Mark just to maybe change something up or not change anything. You know, he did just score late in that game. He might not want to change it. Maybe just lower the depth or something along the lines there. But on the flip side, Yilmaz is definitely playing better, I think, George, than what he did yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. Seems a lot more involved. Seems a lot more calm, collected. Will we see? Well, what will we see here in this second half? Will we see him continue forward with a positive mental state, or will he crumble? Hopefully not. We're hoping for a very close second. I don't want to say second half, I want to say extra time. Games are so long that you kind of forget whereabouts you are. Davies though on the ball down the left for Wismark. He is tackled by Bukayo Saka. Neymar on Stones. Bellingham back to Ibrahima Konate. Saliba. Konate once again, just hang on to the ball, take your time. Davies, Neymar, good ball movement, found the gap. The pass was on across goal. Courtois makes a great save, and now it's a corner kick. Big chance. Wout Weghorst goes up. Ball comes down. Haaland nods it back, and we're still with Mark as he continues to come forward. Ronaldo, great pass. Wout Weghorst denied by the Belgian. Courtois in goal. That was a massive chance.
Wow. I mean, you did mention it there as well. I feel like he could have gone across goal instead of shooting, but it was a great goalkeeper movement. However, I feel like he's going to go to regret that because, you know, I feel like obviously with Haaland up front, you expect him to score everything, but he didn't. And then the rebound from the corner, but there has been a goal in the 92nd minute, and it looks like it's gone the way of Webb Nasri, George. Wow!
Take a bow, son. What a goal for the Japanese player. Oh, big chance for Haaland. Can't quite get there. Webb Nasri. There you go. Come on, he says. Young, obviously disappointed, but Webb Nasri elated. Brings his second win in Group A. 2-2 now is Webb Nasri. There could be a chance. Ronaldo making a good run through. Couldn't find him. Lovely bit of skill from Davies to Neymar. Finds a pass to Mbappe. Gets the space that he needs. Ball roll. Slots it in at the near post. And Mark11 takes the lead for the first time in this game.
Yeah, well played as well. Obviously, we see his sort of signature style. Obviously, ball roll. Sorry, I meant step over speed boost. Sorry, bit of a ball roll there as well at the end. But you know that was what made it the step over speed boost, and then obviously into the ball roll, and then able to pull it into the back of the net. But you could see a pause obviously being made, I'd assume from Yilmaz, but I feel like Mark will make some changes. Here is the replay. He obviously started down the wing, step over speed boost from Neymar into the Mbappe speed boost, a little ball roll, and then Courtois was in no man's land, wasn't he, George?
He was. The goalkeeping movement from Yilmaz didn't quite work there, but it does have to be said, there is still time here in extra time for Yilmaz to find a way back into it. He hasn't really done much in the first half of extra time, though. It has to be said. He hasn't really had much of the ball. Seems like he's been on the back foot defending for most of the game. Mark has been, well, sorry, for most of the second half, for most of extra time. Mark, obviously, in a discussion of what the plan is going forward into the next part of extra time. What is the plan? Puts his music back on, as we are now getting back underway with this one by the looks of things. Yilmaz just making his final changes to his team, and we're back underway. Not long left to go in this first half of extra time, but a full 15 minutes in the second half, so Yilmaz wants to make something happen. He needs to start making those changes, needs to start working it through his team. Mark doing a really good job though of holding on to the ball, taking his time. Can't quite do anything there. John Stones lays it down the line for Bukayo Saka. The whistle for the first half of extra time is almost upon us. Haaland though, twisting and turning, looking for the pass to a teammate. Goes back, finds Kroos. Hullet, ball intercepted. Kroos wins it back. The referee will call the half-time of extra time whistle. A little bit unfortunate there if you're Emre, but the second half is upon us, and what do we need to see change for Emre? Because let's be honest, the first half of extra time, he just hasn't been good enough.
Yeah, I think the first half of extra time, I feel like it was a sort of one-way traffic for him. You know, Mark had a few opportunities, probably should have scored earlier than what he did, but was able to get the goal quite late into the first half. But on the flip side, I think Yilmaz will probably see, you know, a bit of constant pressure, maybe at first go to press after possession loss, maybe 100 depth. We've seen that quite a lot this year, 100 depth, and just try and put the press on him. You know, we know he's very good at player switching and, you know, closing down, so we might have to see a bit more of that. On the flip side, when you do that, you commit so many players forward and you can easily get countered, but obviously it's all or nothing now. He has to go for it. And can we see a penalty shootout? That's the question.
Can we see a penalty shootout? We don't see them very often, but when they do come around, it's kind of like, it's like your birthday, you know? It comes around and you're a little bit disappointed because you're getting a year older, but you're very excited because you know that whatever happens, you could have a good time. That is one of the worst analogies I've ever made, so I do apologise for that, but I love a penalty shootout. It is always a good time, unless you're on the losing end.
That's true. In real life, I love watching, you know, football, like penalties, and sometimes I just don't like it when it's my own team, you know. There's nothing quite like your own team losing a penalty shootout, but when you can watch, you know, other clubs that you don't support, it's a great watch, especially when it's like 10-10.
Canate switching the play out wide. Once again, Mark in the black, Emre in the white. Emre needs to get the ball back as soon as he possibly can, so he can start building up an attack. John Stones wins it. Now it's Toni Kroos. Plays it forward to Bukayo Saka. The pass to Haaland immediately, trying to stop that from coming through. Really nice R1 dribbling from Saka, but can't get away from the tackle. Stones wins it back, gives it to Hullet. Green time finesse. Interesting, a first time shot finesse.
Potentially going for the corner, I would say. I mean, it's Hullet as well. You know, you could, you know, we saw one earlier from Saka, although he, you know, he has got that play style to do that. But I think from there, it's just maybe hit and hope, try and get a corner from it or rebound to go to one of your strikers. But it's a good chance, but he needs a little bit more, I think.
Really good ball movement so far in this build-up play from Emre. Goes back to Toni Kroos, looking for the pass to a teammate. Does really well, gets it to Saka, but once again, these long shots just not happen for Emre right now.
Yeah, I just feel like something's not clicking, maybe, you know. I mean, we've seen one earlier from Saka go flying in. We also saw well, where Nasri scoring an amazing long shot distance one. So it is possible. I just think something's just not clicking, obviously, and maybe potentially you could say Russian, knowing that he needs a goal in these final 8 minutes of this game.
Out of their course, nods it down. Kevin De Bruyne plays it forward to Neymar Jr., who we are seeing, who's been brought on as a super sub. De Bruyne now running through. There's a pass on in the middle if he can find it to Ronaldo. Big chance to close this game out, but it's another great save from Courtois. That would have been the nail in the coffin. That would have been the goal that sealed the deal for Mark11. Maybe from this corner. Goes short to Mbappe. Takes his time with it. Kevin De Bruyne to Ronaldo. Back to De Bruyne, I was going to say. But a lovely bit of skill from Mark11. Goes past one, goes past two. Whips it in, wins himself another corner. As he takes his time. Walking up to the corner spot. De Bruyne will be the player on this corner. Swaps to Kylian Mbappe. Looks like he's going to go short once again, not risking the counter-attack by the looks of things. Mbappe. Yeah, just going to look to go back maybe. Runs it forward, does lose out on the ball, and now the counter-attack could be on. John Stones, the run has been matched. Can't quite make the pass through. He needs to make something happen now, Emre. Bruce with the switch of play. Stones can't win the header against Stones.
Yeah, that was very risky there from Mark, obviously going short and losing out, but great defending, obviously locking onto the defender and stopping that run that he did. But now is he going to try and keep this ball? We mentioned earlier seeing Nicholas do it and almost conceding from it. We do see him going back to try and kill time in this game.
Does look like that's what he's going to do. Valverde wins the header. Neymar does very well. Takes it down and in his stride. Gives it to Ronaldo. And once again, no point in running it forward. Runs up. Runs away from traffic. And this will be the end of the game. Might be one more goal in it as Neymar takes a shot on. Courtois makes a save. There is one last corner. But this will be the win for Mark11 as he picks up the win over Emery. Still, the ball is with him. Doesn't want to kick it out. Neymar, big chance, and there it is. The goal he deserves. And that is the win that he deserves as well. Mark11 wins 3-1 after extra time. As Emery, you know, he just... Something wasn't clicking, like you said, Lisa.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, most players in that position would just kick it out.